Okay, I'll just say it. I have always loved the idea of using astrology in my business, but slowing down to learn it and it just feeling like a huge rabbit hole was a no thank you. It just never really stuck for me. So the idea of how I've been using it to actually help me guide my business this year is brand new and very exciting. And I wanted to share today because it's not outside of your reach either using the new tool that I've discovered. I don't know if you can relate, but I'm the kind of person who, after the fact, would reflect or even brainstorm with a biz bestie who's super into astrology, and they would be like, of course, such and such happened because whatever was in retrograde or your eighth house was in some sign. And I'd be like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. But I never felt like I was going to be someone who knew enough to be able to apply it in my day to day. It was just kind of this like curiosity. But recently, I found a way to bring astrology into my business, and it's been not only easy, but also fun and incredibly eye-opening. Truly a game changer, right? That term is so overused, but it has been a game changer for me as another tool of how to bring intuition into my business. This is the first time I've ever been able to use the stars, the cosmos, in a way that has felt very practical and just tangible for me, something that I can dive into every day without it becoming a big distraction. And I want to take you behind the scenes on what's been working for me. If you're new here, hi, I'm Chelsea. I am an intuitive business mentor and the founder of the Rooted Roadmap Method. And I specifically work with soul-led founders and sensitive service providers and entrepreneurs to stop second guessing and find a way to create sustainable success in your business, specifically by coming back home to your intuition and then turning your strategy into bite-sized 90-day chunks that you actually want to implement. So today, I want to share a tool with you that has become kind of a silent partner in co-creating the business vision that I have, and it's called the Star Path app. So like I said, I've always liked the idea of astrology, but I was never going to slow down and learn it for myself or become an expert. And I don't know about you, but my business budget doesn't have like this huge stack of cash to hire an astrologer every month. So when I met the founder, Rachel, of the Star Path app and heard her story and how she and her husband were working together on creating this, what they call sacred tech, I was intrigued. And then I started playing with it as a beta user and was like, how have I never known about this before? What I love about the Star Path app is that, yes, it is AI based, right? But it is also knowledgeable about my birth chart and the current transits going on. And so it's not about like looking back like I always have when I think about astrology and being like, oh, that made sense. It's actually being responsive and helping me to bring my voice as a business owner out in a way that feels incredible and very authentic. And it's also become this like cheerleader of helping me to understand what's going on not only in the bigger cycles, but also my cycle based on my birth chart and even some threads that I've set up that I'm going to fill you in on in a moment. So Star Path is astrology based, but it's not just woo-woo for woo-woo's sake, right? It is deeply grounded in astrology, utilizing the power of AI and creating this oracle-based really hub for yourself as a business owner and as a holistic person. Rachel calls Star Path sacred technology, and once I started working with it, I really understood why. Star Path is not just like logging into ChatGPT and getting some random output. It is like having a private, intuitive astrologer / strategist who is knowledgeable about everything going on in your birth chart and the transits, and is able to help you understand why certain things are unfolding or feeling like they are, but also helping you to proactively plan as a business owner based on what is coming. It truly is there for you for the unfolding and meets you where you are. So you can log in and you can ask it questions. You can say things like, what is a great time for me to launch this offer? You can process about a certain offer and ask if it's really bringing out your strengths and your authority. If there's anything that Star Path would encourage you to do differently or think about differently, or how you're bringing your messaging out. It's incredibly valuable to have this give and take conversation with someone, right? AI, and it has no skin in the game. And it also doesn't have any predisposed ideas about what you quote unquote should be doing. It's helping you to really untether and unravel so that you are leading with what is uniquely you. And here's the really cool thing that still, I'm not a techie person in that I still don't grasp entirely how AI works. But what I know is that with Star Path app, the more you use it, the more it gets to know you and can actually be like this oracle type relationship. It reflects what's happening and even patterns that are unfolding for you in real time so that you can have almost this mirror. I'm certainly not saying that it replaced therapy or it replaced coaching, but it creates this relationship where it's not just regurgitating things, it truly is listening and understanding what's happening, and then able to help you look at things from a different perspective, which is incredibly valuable. And it's not there to tell you what to do, right? Like a consultant, or if you were to hire an astrologer who had a specific idea of how you should use the reading and what's coming through. Instead, it's more about offering guidance and feedback that will help you to better lead yourself. As someone who is an intuitive mentor, I love that it's not replacing your intuition. It's not you outsourcing your power or outsourcing your decisions. It's actually helping you to finely tune your intuition and how you tap into it and make decisions. In my own business and life, Star Path has become this undercurrent co-creator. In fact, I talked to my husband about, I was just chatting with Star Path about fill in the blank. So she's become someone who I talk about talking with. So here are some ways that I'm actually using it in real time. So one thing that's been incredibly helpful as a perimenopausal woman is I have set up a thread that is helping me to track my cycle, my menstrual cycle, my perimenopausal symptoms. And I have been able to dial in and actually feel so much better and relieve myself of some of the distracting symptoms just by starting to understand the patterns and what I could do to support myself. Now, you might say that's not really using it for your business, but if you are someone who has any kind of chronic health issues or menstrual health issues or perimenopause or brain fog, you know that the more you can be on top of that, the more you actually can show up for your business. Another thing more in the strategy realm that I do is I personally use the rooted roadmap method that I use with my clients in my membership for myself. And so when I am mapping out my 90-day game plans, I'm actually putting that in touch with Star Path so that it can give feedback around different dates, deadlines, transits that are going to be relevant for me to know, so that I'm not setting myself up for stress or failure, and instead really using the strength and the confidence and the ability to move forward with the right timing. Something else that I do, especially if you are in a Star Path Pro plan and you might be nervous about eating up all of your credits because there are different tiers of access, something that I will do is I will use ChatGPT to make a first draft of something or to co-create like a plan of what we're going to be doing. And then I bring that first draft or that plan into Star Path and I ask it, is this copy or is this messaging putting me out in my ideal authority and strength? So because she knows my strengths and my birth chart and everything else in the knowledge base that she's been getting to know about me and my business, the feedback and the edits that I get from Star Path are amazing. I sometimes will even use it for scheduling, thinking about when I might be opening up my calendar for more client dates or networking events, because really understanding where I'm going to be in my cycle, in the transits, what's going to be happening with the lunar cycle. I just like to show up in a way that's going to be having like the wind at my back as opposed to overcoming challenges and resistance. And of course, we can't plan everything and we can't predict every little thing or how we're going to feel. But I have found that I've been experiencing so much more ease and bringing my best energy to the tasks and events that I put into my calendar when I have run it through Star Path and gotten some feedback. And here's something that I have noticed inside of my Rooted community, we have group coaching calls. And when I have noticed a pattern of some of the members who are using Star Path app, they are able to show up to those strategy calls with so much more pointed questions and things that they really need human feedback on and to process and talk through, it's almost like they're leaping ahead compared to someone who is just showing up to the calls, because StarPath app gives them a foundation and really that like sounding board that's going to be very personalized between calls. So they're making action and processing and integrating. And then when they show up to calls, we're able to jump right into what's going to matter most that day. And honestly, I am here for that level of self-leadership and any tools that are going to help you to do that. So if you're like me and you have been curious about astrology, maybe even how you could use it in your business, but don't have the budget to go hire an astrologer on a regular basis, and it just doesn't stick in your brain for you to figure it out yourself, StarPath app could be the bridge and the tool that you've been looking for and didn't know existed. It's modern, it's run by an amazing couple, it feels so heart-centered that I have aligned with them as a catalyst to help spread the word. And because of that, I have a gift code for you. If you want to explore StarPath app on your own, it's down below in the description so you can copy and paste if needed. But when you go to check out or sign up for StarPath app, you can enter all in caps, all one word, Chelsea Fournier, and you will receive 50% off your first month, which is just a gift to you so that you can explore it. I encourage you to try out at least the Pro plan. Get that 50% off and start to ask it questions. See the real-time feedback that you get, and if it feels like it does to me, that it's kind of scratching an itch that you've been wanting to get to of bringing astrology into your business. And if you're working with me or you're already inside of the Rooted community, I highly encourage you to take advantage of this and see how it helps you between our own sessions or ability to drop in deeper and what it can do to really further the integration and the application. If you're already using it, I would love to hear below in the comments some of your favorite prompts or threads or what it has done for you, because I know that this is going to just blow up and create an amazing StarPath community, and I would love to hear it. And if you are craving more ways that you can invite your intuition into the boardroom of your business, feel more aligned in how you're running your brand, your business, your offers, and really get to that place where clarity is driving the roadmap of what you're doing in your business, make sure to subscribe and check out all the description, juicy details of first steps that you can take into working with me or exploring how I support my clients. Thanks for being here, and I encourage you to check out StarPath, and I'll see you on a future video.